This series is proudly brought to you by Uniting Age Well, supporting seniors to remain healthy, active and connected. For care and support tailored just for you, contact Uniting Age Well today. This program is suitable for most people, however it should not replace a supervised exercise program. Please consult your local doctor before commencing an exercise program, especially if you have one or more of the following: have had joint surgery, any medical condition affecting your heart, lungs or blood pressure, joint inflammation, you have not been doing regular exercise. Stop exercising immediately if you experience one or more of the following: chest pain, shortness of breath, nausea, dizziness, numbness or tingling in the arms or legs, severe pain or discomfort in your joints. The producers and distributors disclaim any liability or loss, personal or otherwise, resulting from procedures in this program.
Hi, my name is Julia and I'm a physiotherapist specialising in Pilates. Pilates is a great form of exercise to strengthen up our muscles, improve our posture and improve our flexibility. On today's episode of Move It or Lose It, we're going to be focusing on exercises that strengthen up our core muscles. There are many muscles that incorporate our core and they include our diaphragm, our deeper abdominal muscles, our hip and pelvic muscles, including our pelvic floor, and muscles around our lower back. For today's episode, we're going to start by having a lie down on your backs. So guys, carefully get yourselves down on the floor on your mat and lying down with your feet on the floor, hip width apart. Pop your hands on your hip bones and we're going to start by stretching out our lower back. So if you tilt your hips towards the ceiling, creating an arch in your lower back, and then doing the opposite, tilting your hips down into the floor and flattening your back down. And let's go again. So hips forwards, arching your back, breathing in, hips back, flattening your back and breathing out. And we're just going to keep repeating. This should feel like a really nice stretch for your lower back. And we'll do one more. Okay, great. So this time we're going to find our neutral spine position, which means that your back is not arched up and it's also not flat. It's just resting somewhere in the middle. And we're going to pop our hands just next to our hips. We're going to take our left leg and we're going to pop it up into our 90-90 position, which is this position. So we've got our hip at 90 degrees roughly and our knee at 90 degrees. From here, we're going to bring our toes down to the floor, touch your toes on the floor, and then bring the leg back up again. If you have any knee injuries, then you can have your leg out straighter if you like. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to come up with the left leg into 90 degrees and then touching your toes on the floor and lifting up again. Back down, lifting up, breathing in, breathing out as you come down. try your best to keep your right knee nice and still. And you want to make sure your back is staying in that neutral spine position. When you're doing your Pilates exercises, you want to make sure that you're going nice and slow and controlled. And after this one, we're going to swap legs. So, resting that left foot on the floor, our right leg is coming up into 90 degrees and then touching our toes on the floor. Leg comes up and breathing in and breathing out on the way down. Make sure your hips are not coming off the floor. Try and keep them nice and flat. And guys, we've got one more on this leg. Okay, nice work. Now this time we're going to bring both of our legs into the 90-90 position to start the next exercise. So if you can, take both legs up to here. Now, if that's a lot of strain on your lower back, then what you can do is rest your hands just underneath your pelvis and then lift your legs up. That will just take a little bit of pressure off. So either way you do it, you'll still be activating your core. Okay, so legs up, and you want to have your feet and knees together. From here, we're going to rock our legs towards the left side without letting that right hip lift off the floor. And then we're going to go back to the middle and rock to the right side. Again, without letting your left hip lift off. Back to the middle and rocking. And to the middle and over. And we're just going to keep repeating that. And guys, we've got one more to each side. And you can rest your feet back down. That was great. Guys, it's time for a break. Go have a glass of water and we'll see you back on the mat soon.
Continue doing what you love with the help of Uniting Agewell. With 5 Agewell centres across Melbourne, our highly experienced health and exercise professionals design tailored wellbeing programs for older people using state-of-the-art exercise equipment and technology. Receive assistance with physiotherapy, occupational therapy, podiatry and exercise therapy, including yoga, tai chi, Pilates and stretch classes. Start your journey to wellness today. Contact Uniting Agewell to find out how.
Welcome back, guys. Let's go back down on the mat. So carefully get yourself lying down, and we're going to stretch out our lower back by bringing both of our knees into our chest. So see if you can hold on to your legs and pull them in as far as you can. If you don't have the flexibility to do this, you can have one foot on the floor and just pull one in at a time. And you should feel a nice stretch around the lower back and also around the back of your hips. If you're doing one leg at a time, it's time to change legs. Okay, guys, let's go back into our 90-90 position. So either with your hands next to you or your hands underneath your pelvis. And we're going to have our knees together, feet together, and we're going to rock over to the left side again. But once we get to the left, we're going to do a kick with our legs. So if we rock to the left and kick, come back, go to the middle, and we're going to rock to the right, kick, back to the middle, and off to the left again. Off to the right and kick. Remembering to breathe as well. And if you're getting tired, you can always take a break. And we've got one more to each side. And then back in the middle, hold on to your legs and pulling them into your chest. Okay guys, let's go back into 90-90. And this time we're going to bring our left knee with our hands into our chest while we stretch our right leg out straight. From this position, we're going to swap. So right knee into your chest, left leg out straight, and then changing sides. You want to think about pulling your knee in towards you as much as you can and stretching the other leg away as much as you can, while you're still keeping that neutral spine position. That's looking good, guys. We've got one more on each leg. And this time we're going to rest both of our feet back onto the floor. I'm going to get you to walk your feet together so your feet are touching and your knees are touching. And from here, we're going to rock our legs over to the left, letting your right hip lift off the floor, so that you should feel a nice stretch down that right side of your lower back and hip. And then we're going to go over to the other side. So back through the middle, rocking your legs to the right, letting that left hip come off, and you should feel a nice stretch. And back to the middle, and over to the left again. And we'll do one more to the right. Okay, good job. We're going back into 90-90 again, so just remember you can have your hands next to you or under your pelvis. And from here, we're going to hold our knees and feet together, but we're going to move our arms up and down. So we're going to start with our arms just next to our hips, and they're going to come up together towards the ceiling, and then back down towards your hips. Nice and slow and controlled. Don't touch the floor. Stop just before you get there. And we're coming up again. Stop at the ceiling and back down. Now this time, as your arms come up, I want you to take a breath in, and as your arms come down, you're going to breathe out. So arms up, breathing in. Arms down, breathing out. And let's keep going. If your legs are getting tired, you can cross them over one another. Or if that's still too much, you can come back down on the mat and just have one leg up at a time. Okay guys, we've got one more. Great, and resting your feet back down. It's time for a break. We'll see you soon. Nice work. Welcome back guys. Let's go back down on the floor. So carefully make your way back down. And we're going to go into our 90-90 position. So both legs up, either with your hands resting next to you or underneath your pelvis. From here, we're going to cycle with our legs. So starting with the left, kicking forwards, and then with the right. Now, you can kick as far forwards as you like, provided you're keeping that neutral spine position. If you're kicking too far forwards, your back may start to arch up, and that means you need to do a smaller cycle. Just pop your hands on your hip bones quickly and just do a check to make sure your hips are not lifting up off the floor. And then you can pop them down. Okay, let's go reverse. make sure your lower back is staying in contact with the floor. Okay, and then resting your feet down on the floor. If you take your left foot and cross it over your right knee, use your hands to apply a little bit of pressure to the left thigh, and you should feel a stretch around the side or back of your left hip. If you can't feel it, you can bring everything in towards you to feel it. And let's swap legs. So, right foot over your left knee, apply a little bit of pressure to that right thigh. If you can feel a stretch around the back and side of your right hip, then that's great. If not, bring everything in towards you. Okay, nice work, guys. We're going to do a couple of stretches for our legs, but we're going to be sitting up for that. So just carefully get yourself up into a sitting position and bring your legs out in front of you. Okay, so from here, I want you to try and have your feet as close as they can be together, but also as close as they can be towards you. So just walk them in as close as you can get. For some people that will be in really far, for some people they'll be quite far away, but that's okay, just do what you can. From here, you're gently going to push your knees down towards the floor. You can either do it with your hands or you can do it with your elbows. You should feel a stretch on the inside of your thighs. And just make sure you're sitting up nice and tall with your back. Okay, from here, let's kick our left leg out straight and just rest your right leg. We're not going to be doing anything with the right, so it can rest wherever you like. What I'd like you to do is use your hips to slightly lean forwards towards the right leg, reaching towards your toes, and you should feel a stretch down the back of that thigh. Make sure you're still quite tall with your back though. I don't want you reaching forwards like that. It's just a very slight leaning through the hips. Some people also feel this stretch in your calf muscle as well. And let's change sides. So, right leg kicking out straight, nice and tall through your back and leaning forward slightly towards those right toes. Okay, now this time you can have your legs wherever you're comfortable, as long as they're in front of your body in some way. We're going to walk our hands around the left side of our body to have a stretch through our back. So take your hands onto the left side, walk your hands around as far as you can, looking with your neck. And then we'll come back to the middle and walking our hands to the right side. If your legs are not happy like that, you can have them together or you can have them crossed, wherever is most comfortable for you. Okay, and back to the middle. I'm going to get you to take your arms out in front of you so they're forwards. From here, we're going to bring our left elbow back behind us and we're going to look around that left shoulder. So, bringing your left elbow back, looking around as far as you can, and try and stretch that right arm as far forwards as you can. Sort of like you're pulling yourself apart. And then back to the middle. And right elbow back. Stretching that left arm as far forwards as you can. And back to the middle. Nice work, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and we'll see you next time.
This series is proudly brought to you by Uniting Age Well, supporting seniors to remain healthy, active and connected. For care and support tailored just for you, contact Uniting Age Well today.